So people keep asking, man, drop the list of the sundown towns. Drop the list of the sundown towns. I think that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna need y'all help though. We need to do this shit state by state, bro.
Imagine running out of gas in a sundown town and you don't even know you're in a sundown town. Story time. For those of y'all who don't know what a sundown town is, let me go ahead and give you a little bit of background real quick.
I grew up in this little town called Ponca City, Oklahoma. And about 20 miles away was another little town called Blackwell. Years ago, back at the turn of the 20th century, they had a sign that said, "Don't let the sun set on you here."
Sundown towns is a real thing, and I'm pretty sure I drove through one last night.
Timid, look, I got people trying to wish and pray that I'ma fall about it till we spoke in person. Don't wanna talk about it now.
These two shared their experience driving through a sundown town, a chilling reminder that these places still exist in America. Viewers are now requesting a list of these sundown towns. Drop one in the comments below if you know any. Have you ever been through a sundown town? What was your experience like? Do you think more awareness needs to be raised about these towns? And should there be a national record to warn travelers? Drop your thoughts below, share your experiences, and add to the list in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe.
Sundown towns are towns that are majority white. They didn't start off that way, let's be clear. But black and brown people are not safe, not wanted, and not seen in sundown towns. On the lower end of the spectrum, they're not going to serve you. They're not going to acknowledge you. And you're going to get a lot of racial slurs and discrimination, especially at night. On the extreme high, other end of the spectrum, you go out there and you don't make it back home. They exist all over the United States. They just don't like to talk about it. Oh yeah, TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. You'll find a lot of these towns in like the outskirts of whatever city you're living in. You may drive through these cities when you're doing road trips and you don't even know that it's a sundown town, but it is. So that brings me to my story. But me and a friend of mine, we were both dancers at the time, and she decides that she wants me to come and tag along with her at this private party. Now, if you've been following me for a minute, even before I started posting story times, I don't play about my money, okay? This was another one of those situations where, because it was her play, I let her handle the logistics of where we were gonna be, the deposit, how much we were gonna get paid at the party, you know, stuff like that. I can't pinpoint exactly where we were because it was so long ago, but I know that we were in the middle of Tallahassee and Georgia. Like, we were on that line. It took us at least an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 45 minutes, give or take, to actually get to this party. Now, usually when we would do private parties, especially if it's something that I'm putting together, I have everything to a T. So we had been planning for this trip maybe for 4 days. We already knew that we were going to go out there. She had already had the location. Now, granted, it was far. But sometimes when we do private parties, they are on the outskirts. So that's not normal, you know? So we're now on the way to this event. We basically chopping it up with each other. We probably going to stay about an hour if they not throwing no money. You know, the little, you know. We ended up leaving this side around like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Because we knew we wanted to get to the party at least by 11. That gets everybody time to get there. Our investor had a club out there, so everything was pretty much taken care of, and we were expecting at least 50 to 100 people to be at this club. Upon us getting there, y'all, it looks like nobody's there yet. Like, we getting dressed. We like, okay, maybe, you know, we on CP time, so we know they're gonna be a little bit late. We just getting ourselves together and hoping that when we go out there, our crowd is there. I should have known something though, because this man didn't even have nowhere for us to get dressed and get ready. We had to get ready in his house. Basically, he had like a little hut, almost like a tiny home right next to the club. And the fact that we done got here is damn near 11 o'clock and it's not no people here yet. Like, y'all not even pre-gaming. That was definitely a red flag. And I already know what y'all thinking. You didn't see the scenery when y'all were on the way? No, because I was asleep. The plan was for her to drive there, I would drive back. We finally get dressed. We see people knocking on the door, trying to see us, whatnot. Y'all go inside the club, and we basically delegating to him that he needs to get them together in the club so we could just go out and do our thing. When we walked out of the little house that he had, into the club, y'all, it was nobody in there. It was probably about 5, maybe 6 people in there. Very janky, like they didn't have anything together. No drinks, no food. We came with the ones, but it was just like, what is this? And then he started telling us, yeah, we can't have the music too loud. We don't want to draw too much attention to ourselves. And I'm thinking, okay, that's normal. You know, we are kind of in the outskirts. I understand. But now that I think about it, I think he told us that for a whole totally different reason. So we get to dancing and everything, even though it's not that many people there. We like, let's just go ahead and start. And then when people start pulling up, they see what time it is. And they just start adding more fuel to the fire, more funds. Y'all, the little people that was there who was throwing money, they throwing like $10, $20 out of their pocket. Like, it's some BS, I ain't gonna lie. And then it's so janky that they starting to pick up the money that they're throwing, y'all. And now we done got into it with these people because what are you doing? That's not stripper etiquette. What are you doing? Like, literally picking the money up that they're throwing off of the floor, trying to throw it back on us, or just put it in a pocket. Once we started seeing that and we done got into it with these people, we finna go. Because at this point, like, we already by ourselves. We don't have no security. This man is not even advocating for us. And this is his fucking event. And I'm telling her, like, this will never be done again. Because I would never, you know, she was always the type that tried to one-up me. But you can never. And that's what that situation was about. Like, I would never have us in no janky ass shit like this. So we basically pick up the little scrubs and we get the hell on. Now, y'all remember I told y'all the whole ride there, I'm asleep because it's an hour and a half. I'm asleep the whole ride. Y'all, we finally get in the car after cussing this man out, get all of our stuff, and we heading back. Now, we probably about 20 minutes into the ride, and I look down and I'm like, this girl didn't put no fucking gas in my car. None. And at this time, my car was still kind of brand new. I didn't know everything about my car. I have a hybrid. So I'm thinking like, maybe it'll run off of, now that I'm running out of gas, because I don't have nothing on my gas. Maybe it'll run off of, you know, the hybrid side. Wrong. Y'all, we ended up running out of gas, breaking down at this little gas station. That was the best part about it. Now, we in the middle of nowhere at this point. Like, we can tell we are in a little city, but I don't know where. And it's like abandoned. Like, I'm so scared at this point. I'm looking around paranoid. We get to the door, y'all. The door is closed. It's locked. The shit ain't even it ain't even open yet. I don't know no gas stations that ain't open. You know, it was late. It probably was about 1 o'clock at this point. But some gas stations be open. Y'all, we went to the door. Do y'all know that these people didn't even open until 6 o'clock? Yeah, that's right. So we had to sit there and wait on somebody to get there. Whole time I got my little pew pew with me, which I take with me everywhere. But I'm scared. I'm paranoid. I don't know where I am. My car is running out of gas. I mean, it's done at this point. And all I have is me, this stupid girl that didn't put no gas in my car. And I'm thinking, I'm praying so hard. Like, God, please, please, please don't let nobody come up and try to be weird with us. And I'm not even thinking sundown town. I'm thinking, I don't want nobody to try to harm us. I don't want nobody to try to take us. You know what I mean? Like, not even thinking about no sundown town at all. She falling asleep and whatnot. I cannot sleep because, listen, this is uncomfortable for me. So I'm telling her, you need to wake up. Y'all, we have been sitting out there for 3 hours. Now, they said they didn't open until 6, but somebody did eventually come around 4. When the lady get there, she's looking around. She's a white lady, like a hillbilly type. She's looking around. She kind of like trying to figure out, why is this car sitting there? So, y'all, we finally go in the store. We shop around, basically getting some snacks and stuff for the road. And now we getting ready to walk up to her. While we're checking out, she's like, what are you ladies doing around these parts? We let her know we had just came from an event. We're actually just passing through and we're on the way back home. This lady looked us, and me specifically, dead in my soul and said, now, I'm going to tell you girls, y'all are beautiful young ladies. And, you know, I know that you guys are just passing through, but do you know where you are? I said, to be honest, no, I don't know where we are. Where are we? And she said it just like this. Well, be honest with you girls. You're not safe here, and you're lucky that I'm the one who opened up the store today. I I wasn't even gonna come into work today, but I decided I needed some extra money. She also told us, like, listen, don't stop nowhere else. After this, y'all ladies go straight home because I would hate to see something bad happen to y'all. And so that's it for me. You don't gotta tell me nothing else, girl. Thank you, bye. Here go this stupid girl. Well, what you mean? What you mean? What happened to us? She said, I don't mean to be rude, but they don't like your kind out here. Now, I'm not like them, but you might want to go head home, honey. Never the fuck again. Looking back on the situation, I'm so thankful and so blessed to still be here. That just shows how protected and covered I am. I'm definitely telling my story to spread awareness because we have truck drivers, we have people that are just passing through that have no clue and no idea. Be vigilant, pay attention, be on your P's and Q's at all times because you never know. If you have a crazy, spooky, unbelievable story that you want to tell but you want to remain anonymous, feel free to DM me because I am now taking submissions, and I will see y'all later. I actually been seeing this question circulating through my comments a lot, so let me just tell you the telltale signs in my experience. For one, there were no street lights. I mean, at all. If you saw a street light, you wouldn't see another one for miles. It also looked like a deserted city. Like, it looked like nobody lived there. No movement, period. No animals, no cars. That was another thing. Like, even in the city of Atlanta, even when the city is asleep, you're gonna have people on the road. You know what I mean? It looked like a ghost town. Like, if I had not stopped there, I wouldn't even have recognized it. Also, you may see a lot of things that look very old-fashioned. Like, you may see a salon that says saloon, or how certain, you know, they have the mom and pop restaurants. You know, that's not for everyone. But just in my experience, that's what I saw. That's what I experienced.
So people keep asking, man, drop the list of the sundown towns. Drop the list of the sundown towns. I think that's what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna need y'all help though. We need to do this shit state by state, bro. State by state. So listen, whatever state you from, whatever you've been hearing from your parents, your grandparents, elders, drop the town, drop the state and the towns of all sundown towns across America underneath this post. Because that's going to help somebody, you feel me? It's going to help somebody that look like us, dog. Real talk. Because at the end of the day, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Fuck it. I'm going out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so drop every sundown town name that you could think of for whatever state. I did it.
Sundown towns is a real thing, and I'm pretty sure I drove through one last night. So just yesterday morning, I started driving from Chicago to Atlanta. So now on my way to Atlanta, the route I take, or where the GPS had me going, it had me going through Kentucky. I don't really know too much about Kentucky and shit like that at all. Like, I just know a little bit, but I just know it just felt weird. Like, it just was just the middle of nowhere. I really thought it probably was cracking. It's close to Tennessee, but I guess just not the place where I was at. So now as I'm driving through, I needed to pee real quick and wasn't no gas stations nearby. So I just pull over real quick and I go to pee outside right fast. So as I'm peeing outside, it's like them loud ass trucks, you know, the pickup trucks, loud as hell, driving past. As they driving past, I hear jump in it. Yeah, that word. So I'm kind of confused whole time, like, what the fuck they talking about? But then when I look over, I see it's a pond right there. So basically they was telling me to jump in the pond. So after I realized that was what they was insinuating, like, that shit low-key sent like chills through my body type shit. And I'm just like, yeah, let me hurry up and get the fuck from around here. Because I was just watching videos about sundown towns just not too long ago. So now I'm driving and I end up stopping at a gas station real quick. Mind you, it's about 7 o'clock and it's already dark, like the daylight saving shit. So mind you, I'm low on gas. So I'm just trying to make sure I got enough gas to make it to where the next place where I need to go, somewhere where like it ain't finna be no weird shit going on. So I go up in there. As I'm in a gas station, everybody looking at me funny. It was another black person up in there too, but they was like a whitewashed black person type shit. So I go up to go pay for my gas and shit. She tells me the pump's not working right now. Mind you, as I was pulling up, I just seen somebody pull off from getting gas. And I say this to her. And after I say this to her, she ends up saying, you must not be from around here. So I just quit getting into it with her for a little minute. Then I just walked out. So now I get in my car, I'm driving, I'm trying to get to the next gas station. So I'm trying to hurry up, I'm speeding and shit. So as I'm speeding, I end up getting flagged. Like, the police officer turned their lights on. I gotta put the rest in part 2. Follow me for part 2.
I grew up in this little town called Ponca City, Oklahoma. And about 20 miles away was another little town called Blackwell. Years ago, back at the turn of the 20th century, they had a sign that said, "Don't let the sun set on you here." They used the N-word, and it was on a sign for the town. This was not a suggestion, it was a threat. People in that town were still bragging about their lack of black residents in the early 2000s. One man, reportedly from a museum, said, "Well, yeah, there's still no black folks here, thank God, but the Mexicans have found us." My town, Ponca City, didn't have a sign. It didn't need one. They used far subtler tactics. There were no black families in our neighborhood. Not in our schools, not at our store, not at our church. I don't remember meeting a single black person until I was 13 or 14 years old and we moved to New Orleans. I grew up during the civil rights era and we heard all the right things. We're all equal, judge people by the content of their character. And so I was absorbing these messages, but I never saw anyone treated equally because there were no black people there to treat equally. And that was not by accident. Some towns had signs. Others used sirens, actual alarms that went off at sunset to warn black people to leave. Some had police checkpoints, and they would stop drivers that didn't belong. Even towns without signs had rules, quiet rules. Ponca City kept itself white with silence. If you weren't white, you couldn't buy a house there. You couldn't get a job. You would never belong. Sure, there might be violence after sundown. We just didn't have a sign that announced it. There was just an absence and a culture that told white kids like me that the absence was normal. They just didn't want to live here. Gee, I wonder why not. But it wasn't normal. It was strategic, and it was white supremacy. We just couldn't see it because they weren't allowed to be there. I'm not an expert, I'm just an avid learner, and you can be one too. Join me. Get curious.